Okay, so I just pressed recording, but my name is Kelsey Hurst. I think I know many of you, and for those who I don't know, you will see many emails from me during the year, and you'll see my face on each of the committee and work group calls. So I have been at WEF for 14 years. I'm part of the association engagement team. And in that role, I work with the House of Delegates and also the member associations. So I'm happy to be here and happy to work with you all as we work on the HOD of the future, which you'll be hearing more about.
Excellent. And we have our speaker-elect, Alexie Kindrick. Alexie, if you can introduce yourself.
Sure. Hi, everyone. Sorry, I am like 5 minutes from home and then I'll be on video. But Alexie Kindrick, speaker-elect for this upcoming year with the House of Delegates. I represent the Oklahoma WEA and I live in Tulsa. And I'm very, very excited to get to work with all of you and get to know you all better over the course of the next few years.
Excellent. And this is a great opportunity for us to just connect with all the new delegates. I'm going to take an opportunity here just to give you some high-level thoughts on what's happening this year, the HOD of the future. And you have heard much about this, and I'm going to take an opportunity just to talk about this. Which screen are you seeing? HOD of the future? Great. That's a yes?
Yes, I see it. Yes.
Yeah, thank you. Yep. Thank you. So who we are? Who we are? You, ladies and gentlemen, have just joined the deliberative and representational body of WEF. That's what the House of Delegates is, and that's who we are, this body that you are a part of. And what do? Number one, we are the primary conduits of information exchange between MAs and WEF. And number two, we are advisors to the Board of Trustees on matters of strategic direction and public policy development. So on a high level, this drills down to the core of the purpose of the House of Delegates. We represent, we are the group that helps with strategy. We are the conduits. We are the advisors. That's the House of Delegates. And why are we changing things? Why are we switching things up a bit? Well, we know we need to improve delegate participation in the House. We've had the House of Delegates for a couple of decades, and it's an amazing group with so much potential. And the numbers range somewhere around 90 to 180 something. That's a lot of people that can do so much to impact the member associations, to impact the federation, to impact the industry. And we can get much more done when more delegates are actively participating in the House. So we need to improve the participation levels. Member association needs are changing. So across the country, things have been changing within our member associations, and we know that. And as a result, we are conscious of it, and we want to continue to be agile and respond to the needs of the member associations. So that's why the HOD is continuing to improve. And of course, you know that WEF has a new strategic plan, and that's a driver behind why this year all of you are a part of this process that we're on of creating the House of Delegates of the future. And as we talk about the House of Delegates of the future, there's a couple things that I want to reiterate. The House of the future is structured and functions in alignment with the new strategic plan. The House of the future has 100% active delegate participation, and the House of the future is relevant, visible, and valued by the WEF national and member association community. And that's just a high-level introduction to each of you, and we wanted to say this to the new delegates, to ensure that from day one, as you have joined this esteemed body, you understand what you came into. It's like jumping on a moving bus. It is moving, and you just jumped on, and you are along for the ride. And we decided to slow the bus down today. We couldn't stop it, but we slowed the bus down to talk to all the new members of this group that's on this bus, answer all of your questions, get everybody connected. So a quick thing, I'm looking at the participants, and I'm gonna ask one by one. I'm gonna give you like 30 seconds just to say your name, your member association, or if you are an at-large delegate, who you're representing, your constituency, and what is your role in the House of Delegates, and your thoughts on the HOD of the future. You have to compress it all into 30 seconds. And let me see how skilled we are at doing that. Matt Alpaw, you get to go first.
Hey everybody, I'm Matt Alpaw. I am a delegate for Alabama's WEA, and I am on the work group facilitating this, the delegate of the House of Delegates of the future.
David Arnott.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am from Central States Water Environment Association. Excited to be part of the HOD again. I'm a senior delegate, and I am on the work group of HOD of the future. Excited about participating.
Scott Orrit.
Scott Orrit, and I'll turn my camera on. All right. Nebraska Water Environment Association delegate, and I am one of the two Scots helping lead HOD of the future.
Amy Baker.
All right, I want to make sure you can hear me. Okay. I am a delegate representing AZ Water Association in Arizona. It's nice 74 degrees today. I am on the strategic plan rollout group, and I am on the DE&I committee.
Bill Davis.
Good afternoon. I'm Bill Davis. This is my actually starting my second year as first year senior delegate for the Water Environment Association of South Carolina. And I am co-chairing the strategic plan rollout group and part of the nominating committee.
Ivan Broad.
Good afternoon, Yvan Bro. I am the delegate for Réseau Environnement, Réseau Environnement being the Quebec Association, Quebec, Canada. It's my first time at the House of Delegates, and I am on the House of Delegates of the Future work group, and I'm speaking French, so I guess I'm not gonna win the excellence prize of presenting myself.
It's actually sounded pretty cool, by the way. I was like, man, I wish I could have said it like that. He at least shaking the head like, yeah, woo, that sounded pretty good. I didn't catch myself. All right, Dave. Thank you, Dave on. Dave going once, twice, thrice. Dave Galbraith.
Dave Galbraith. Okay, I was waiting for the last name. Dave Galbraith. This is year number 6 for me as a delegate from Atlantic, Canada. I'm serving on the House of Delegate of the Future work group. I'm the vice chair of the WEF Max committee, and I've just been appointed to sit on the strategic advisory committee with WEF.
Excellent. I think Dave on came back. Dave on.
Yeah, I'm with the Montana Water Environment Association, and I will be serving on the work group for the future of the House of Delegates.
Thank you. Ellen Frakatic.
Very good. You got it, Donnell. Ellen Ferketic. Yeah, that one stumps a lot of people. I'm with the Chesapeake Water Environment Association, and I am on the strategic plan rollout work group and looking forward to it. And this is my 3rd year in the House of Delegates.
Thank you. Haley Goddard.
Hey everyone, I'm Haley. I am the new delegate for Pacific Northwest Clean Water Association. I am on the DE&I committee and the strategic plan rollout workforce.
Johnny.
Hi everybody, this is Johnny Wilson. I am with the Mississippi WEA, and I'm on the House of Delegates of the Future work group as well.
Thank you. Joe Tamburini.
Hello, I'm Joe Tamburini. I'm from the Rocky Mountain WEA, and it's snowing here, so I don't know, Arizona 74 is not fair. I'm the junior delegate from this. I'm on the Water Advocates group.
Johnny Lunsford.
Arkansas AWEA, and I am on the water ad group too. So,
Christiana Dragash.
Hey everyone. Let's see if this will work. Do I even? Okay. Hi. I'm Christiana Dragish. I just finished up my first term or 3-year term as the FWEA or Florida delegate, and now I am starting a new 3-year term as a delegate at large, and I'm co-chairing the Water Advocacy Work Group with Peter Garvey. So I'm really excited to see your faces, those of you who are going to be joining us.
Andy Sheeposh.
Hi guys, Mandy Sheposh. I'm a delegate at large. I'm a Central States member otherwise. The co-chair of the MA strategic plan rollout. Also involved in a few other things related to my delegate role, but yeah, good to meet everybody.
Thank you, Laura Jo Oaks.
Hi, Laura Oaks. I'm an incoming delegate for the Chesapeake Water Environment Association, and I am on the HOD of the Future work group.
Thank you, Ray Vermette.
Thank you, Donnell. My name's Ray Vermette, and I'm with the New England Water Environment Association. This is my 2nd year as a delegate, and I am on the HOD of the Future work group and the WEF Max committee.
Thank you, Clint Riley.
Clint Riley with WEA of South Carolina. I'm a junior delegate with Bill Davis. I'm on the HOD of the Future and Budget Committee.
Rosaline Nogle.
Hi, I'm Rosie Nogle. I'm 2nd year delegate from New York, WEA, and I'm on the Water Communications Advocacy, whatever we're coming up with as that second word for that group, work group, and on the Budget Committee.
Thank you, Rosie. Santos.
Hello, everyone. I'm Santos Sáenz from Mexico. I represent the MA down here in Mexico. It's called Sociedad Mexicana de Agua, something like Mexican Water Society. It's my first time as a delegate. I'm glad to be here. I'm in the Water Advocacy work group, and I'm here to take Ivan's spot as work presentation.
Thank you, Santos. Scott Foley.
I'm Scott Foley. I'm starting my 2nd 3-year term as delegate at large, representing industrial waste. I'm the other half of the great Scots of the House of the Delegate Future work group. Been on many committees and work groups the past 3 years, and past president of Missouri Water MWA. So that's me.
That Lynn.
Hi, everyone. I'm Seth Linney from North Dakota Water Environment Association. I'm a 4th-year delegate, and I'm part of the Water Advocacy Work Group.
Thomas Bach.
Hey, thank you, Donnell, and it was good meeting you in person in New Orleans. I am with North Carolina One Water, which comprises of both WEF and AWWA. I am a 3rd-year delegate with the board there. I am on the HOD of the future with the 2 Scots. Look forward to that. And I'm also a vice chair of the WEF membership committee.
Thank you. And last but not least, Haley, did we skip you? You went already?
Yeah.
Awesome.
No, but
Awesome.
Audrey Herla from Hawaii did sneak in here while we were doing intros.
Audrey.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Sorry, I've been trying to turn my camera on, but it keeps on automatically turning off. So I don't know if I was getting blocked or something. So so nice to see you all and meet some of you I met at WEF Tech recently. I'm the new delegate for the Hawaii WEA, and yeah, I'll be here for the next 3 years, I guess. And then, so I'm on the HOD budget committee, and then I am interested in going on the Water Advocates work group, but I don't think I officially applied yet, but I attended the meeting during WEF Tech and the breakout meeting, and that was really interesting and inspiring. So I really look forward to working with you all and continuing to work with WEF staff that I've kind of known for the past few years.
Christiana has officially recruited you. Check the chat.
I can't avoid it now. So no, I'm really looking forward to it. Yeah, it's awesome. I think I signed up for the water advocacy kind of emails years ago and did a couple. I just signed the petition for the WIPES Act, and then I'm going to talk to my association about seeing how we can kind of integrate it more into maybe our emails or just our sorry, I see the Dave's dog and I'm just cracking up. So anyway, yeah, nice to meet you all. Maybe next one meeting I'll be working from home and you guys can meet my various cats.
Awesome. Hey, we are so excited to have all of you, including Dave's dog, in this meeting. It is a wonderful experience every time we get new delegates. As I said, you come with fresh energy, fresh ideas, and we're going to harness all of it. All of it. So I'm going to turn over to Kelsey, and she's going to talk about the basics of being a delegate.
All right, thank you, Donnell. So first, I'm going to share a slide, which is a couple years old, but I think it still is effective in sharing the basic structure and layout of how the House of Delegates fits in. Oops, I muted myself instead of sharing my screen. So here we go. Let me pull this up here. Okay. So this first slide I'm going to show you. So up at the top, we have our WEF membership, which is kind of the bread and butter of our organization. And overseeing the WEF membership and with the fiduciary responsibility, we have the Board of Trustees. And then kind of down, breaking out from the Board of Trustees, we have the WEF House of Delegates, we have the Committee Leadership Council, and we have the WEF Executive Director. So the WEF Executive Director does sit on the board as the secretary of the Board of Trustees, and both the WEF both the CLC and the House of Delegates do have a non-voting seat on the Board of Trustees. So Donnell as Speaker of the House of Delegates, and then Amy Corbo as Chair of the CLC do attend and participate in each of the board meetings throughout the year. The next is, here's another way to kind of break it down and look at it. Again, we have the WEF membership, which flows down from the member associations. And then the member associations feed into the House of Delegates. So each of you well, not each of you, because some of you are delegate at large, so you're representing constituencies instead of member associations, but you are still all associated with a member association. So kind of across from us, we have the Board of Trustees. And then going back to the House of Delegates, so we have the speaker and speaker-elect, and then down beneath here, we have the standing committees. And so we no longer have the outreach committee, it's now the DE&I committee. And then we have the working groups, which change each year. And then going back over here to the Board of Trustees, again, down underneath of the board and kind of feeding into the work that the board does is the CLC and the WEF staff. So this is just to kind of give a broad overview of WEF and the way things fit together and how things work, because I think that is definitely a question that some people have when they come into the House of Delegates and try to put everything together. All right, so now I'm just going to do a basic overview of what is expected of you or what your duties are as a delegate. So I'm just going to do a quick review of things that you should expect to do and plan to do during your time on the House of Delegates. If anyone has any questions, please feel free to chime in or raise your hand. So primarily as a delegate, you're representing the interest of your member association or your member constituency, depending on whether you're representing your MA or a delegate at large. And so one of your main roles is to provide two-way communication. So that's both from your member association to WEF and vice versa. And to participate actively in meetings throughout the year. Attend WEF Tech annually, of course, which just happened. Each delegate is asked to try to participate in at least one WEF Max meeting. So there will be 3 in-person WEF Max meetings next year in Denver, St. Louis, and Charlottetown, Prince Edward Island. And then we will have a virtual WEF Max meeting for people who are not able to attend one of those in-person meetings, or if you just want to attend the virtual meeting, I would certainly encourage you to do that as well. And then another primary role of the delegate is to actively participate in the coordination of the WEF board member representative that's attending your annual conference. So you will get emails from once my team at WEF starts working with the board or basically the paid staff or the people who are kind of in charge of running the conference for your member association. Will copy you on that communication so that you can get introduced to the WEF board member and help out with planning their visit for your conference. And then, of course, last but not least, each delegate should plan to participate in at least one or more work group. And then, of course, it's up to each individual delegate to apply to serve on a committee if that is something that you're interested in. There, as mentioned, there's 5 standing committees. So there are a limited number of spots available for those committees, but we love to see lots of applications for those open positions. And of course, I'm here anytime to answer any questions that you all have as you are sitting here on the House of Delegates. And if I don't have the answer for you, I will track it down. So feel free to reach out anytime, ask any questions you have right now, or as you're working your way through the House of Delegates and trying to figure everything out, just let me know. Okay, and I'm going to hand it back over to Donnell.
Thanks, Kelsey. So you have a question from Scott Orrit. He asked, do the CLC and technical committees fall under the Board of Trustees?
Well, no, they do not. The CLC has a seat on the Board of Trustees as a non-voting member, but no, they do not fall under the Board of Trustees. So I think that one graphic might have been a little bit misleading the way that was put on there, but they fall under the general WEF umbrella. And of course, the CLC chair reports out to the board, but a number of years, or I guess it was a couple of years ago, the board made a conscious decision to not have as much input into what the committees do, trusting that the volunteers who are in charge of those committees are doing what they're put in charge to do. So there are certain things, especially budget related items, that might come to the board for approval, but in general, it's trusted that the committees are doing what they're put in place to do.
Yeah, and I'm still struggling mentally, even though this is year 5 of being in the House, on that interaction of how, even as delegates between WEF and our MAs, of that technical engagement from our committees and encouraging that. So something for the HOD of the future task and other items I'm just trying to be talking about at our conference next week.
Yeah. No, I have here's my coworker coming to join me now too. And I see another question came in. So the makeup of the CLC and the function. So the makeup of the CLC is all the chairs and vice chairs of the WEF committees. And so that's kind of the broad overview of the CLC, but then there are what are called COP, or Community of Practice Directors. And so each of those committees is broken into Alexie has her coworker now too. So
yeah, they're all joining, I guess, getting jealous.
So each of those groupings of committees is then broken into a different grouping. And so the Community of Practice Director oversees that grouping of committees. So they're the ones who are actually responsible for going to the CLC steering committee and reporting out on if there's a specific ask from one of the committees that they oversee. So it is a little bit complicated, and to throw another wrench into that somewhat complicated solution is that we are in the process of transforming over to what you'll hear as a member engagement transformation. So the CLC is still going to exist, but the way that we know WEF committees now is going to shift. And so from what I understand, instead of committees, we're going to shift more to institutes. And so I know Government Affairs Institute is one of the guinea pigs right now. So I think there's two, and I don't know what the other one is, but I think there's two kind of guinea pigs right now to kind of do a soft launch. And then as we move on further through the year here, you'll be seeing and hearing more about other committees as we fully transition into that member engagement transformation.
Thank you very much, Kelsey. So it sounds like the CLC is a little bit ahead of the HOD when they decided to do a transformation of how the CLC is set. They've been working on this for several years. So pretty soon we're going to hear about the final outcome. I've watched many presentations on it, and they've really been working hard to get a structure together that they feel is conducive to best practice for the CLC. So as soon as they have that together, we might go ahead and just invite them probably to come to one of our meetings and share about the CLC, and that'll be good. And we're going to go through our own transformation with the HOD of the future this year, and we're just going to knock it out in 1 year and then hand it to Alexie to actually do it. Speaking of Alexie, we're going to turn it over to Alexie, who is going to share a charge to the delegates.
Yes. So real quick, let me share my screen. Okay. So I know Kelsey has gone over this already today, but and so has Donnell. We have the charge for all of our delegates. We want 100% active delegate participation. So here are ways, just a quick outline of ways that you can be an active participation in the House of Delegates. So attending all the quarterly meetings. Kelsey, are those on calendars yet?
I will be getting them out on calendars. They're there. I just need to send them to the entire HOD.
Okay, so those dates have been set. You'll be getting calendar invites to those. Of course, attendance at the WEF Tech conference. That's a big one. It's a really awesome way for all of us to get face-to-face engagement with one another. Committee involvement. Next year, or I guess towards the end of this year, Kelsey will send out notices for applications to all of our standing committees. Definitely apply to be on one of those. They're excellent, great ways to get to know WEF and the HOD in a lot more detail. Work group and task force involvement. It sounded like most of you have already joined a work group, which I think is fantastic, and I absolutely applaud that. If you'd like to join another, feel free to go ahead and do that as well. You're not limited to just one. You're not limited also to just one committee and one work group or anything. You can have a combination of all of it. So it's pretty much what interests you. We want to hear what you have to say and work with you guys. Also, attendance at the WEF Max conferences. They are amazing. They are a great way to connect with other WEF members, other House of Delegates members. I had the opportunity to go to Hawaii last year for my very first WEF Max, and it was an unforgettable experience, which I know the upcoming ones will also be wonderful and unforgettable. So definitely take a look at your calendar, see if there's an opportunity for you guys to participate in any of the WEF Max events. And so remember that you are the primary conduit of information back and forth between your MA or constituency and WEF. So if you're going to your WEF or your MA meetings and you don't have any reports from WEF or anything, then that means you're not 100% actively engaged in the organization. So we really want you guys to participate, know that you have a voice, know that you're here to help guide WEF and to provide input from your MAs. I mean, this is the main way that they're getting what they need back to WEF and vice versa. So 100% active participation. We really want to see you guys and hear what you have to say and get to know you all really well. And like Donnell was saying, this year is going to be a very transformative year for the House of Delegates. There's going to be a lot of really great ideas and vision and goals that are going to come out of this year, both related to the House of Delegates and the strategic plan. And so keep that in mind, because next year when I'm speaker, we're going to be working a lot on executing a lot of these ideas and actually like physically doing that transformation that Donnell and everyone is going to come up with this year. So definitely keep that in mind next year as you guys select your work groups and committee involvement. We're definitely going to want your ideas and input, and we look forward to working with you all very closely throughout the next few years. So Donnell, back to you, I think.
Fabulous. Thank you so much, Alexie, for issuing this charge.
It's a wonderful opportunity to be 100% active in this organization.
That's what I'm talking about. And now to the best part of this meeting, the questions. If you have any questions for us, anything has confused you, anything you're like, oh, I don't understand, now is the time. It's a great opportunity to ask those questions, and we will gladly answer those questions. We'll give you about 10 to 15 seconds if you do have a question. Otherwise, as you are engaged with your committees and your work groups and your task force, leverage the other members of those particular groups. You are going to be mixed with very experienced House of Delegates members. That's one good thing about the way we're structured. You're always going to be surrounded by others who have been doing this a little longer and have successfully navigated the last year, 2 years, etc. And with the HOD, after you do it 1 year, you feel a lot better. So the first year is always a blitz. Definitely, I felt the same way my first year. I was like, whoa, it was just everything. Everything was just coming. And by the second year, I was like, everything was still coming, but at least I felt a little better than year one. So exciting times for everyone. I'm going to give Kelsey an opportunity to chime in with anything else. Otherwise, if there are no questions, I think we should be good. Kelsey?
The only thing I want to mention is that if any of you feel that if there's a work group that you would like to be involved with and you have not received a meeting invite, that's with the exception of the HOD of the future, because I think we're still working on setting that. But if you do not see the meeting invite or you feel you're missing something from your calendar, let me know and I will be happy to forward that on over to you.
Hey, Kelsey, Seth Linney here. I was wondering if you had the WEF Max dates handy that you could share with everyone.
Yes, good question. Okay, so let me bring that up really quickly. So just bringing that up. Okay, so it's going to be April 12th to 14th in St. Louis, Missouri, May 3rd through 5th in Denver, Colorado, and May 24th through 26th in Charlottetown, Prince Edward Island. And I'm going to put that in the chat as well.
And I have the topics, Kelsey, if you want me to read them out real quick.
Please.
Okay, so each WEF Max has a theme. associated with it. And so all 3 WEF Maxes have the theme of improving member associations through. And so Missouri is going to focus on collaboration and partnerships. Rocky Mountain, so Denver, is going to focus on engagement and service. And then the Atlantic Canada is going to focus on leadership and innovation. So we are improving member associations through collaboration and partnerships, engagement and service, and then leadership and innovation.
Awesome.
Scott Art just put that in the chat too. So thank you, Scott.
Awesome. Yeah. This looks pretty good. Very, very nice. Yeah, awesome. WEF Max is worth it for sure. I went to my WEF Max last year, and I was thoroughly pleased to have had the opportunity to participate in a WEF Max. It's the only opportunity outside of WEF Tech where we get to actually see the delegates. So that's our in-person gathering. So we definitely want to leverage that. Good. Any other questions? Everybody's good? All right. If everybody is good, then hey, enjoy the rest of your day and welcome to the HOD of the future. Bye, everyone.
Next day.
Bye.
Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you, everyone.
I love the photo from Dave. All right, see ya.
Okay, we'll see you.
All right.